Hello, everyone. We are asked almost every day how long this is going to take. USCIS has increased processing time for applications in the past few years, while applications numbers are going down. While we can't give you an exact answer as to how long it's going to take, we can explain what may be taking your application so long. I also give 5 tips to help your application move forward as quickly as possible and explain what can you do if you haven't had a decision in the statutory time period. I'm Raluca. As attorney, I provide immigration, estate planning, and family law services to my clients in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Nina Clear, my marketing and office manager, is here with me. We really appreciate all your likes, shares, and comments as they help others to see our videos.
Like you said, this is probably the #1 question people ask. Why is it taking so long, or how long is this going to take?
That's right. To help people answer this question, we created a video showing how can you check how long it may take. We'll post a link to this video. Even after posting that video, we are still asked that question, so we thought we'd try to give you a little more insight into what is causing the delay.
Okay, so what is it?
Well, USCIS has claimed through a spokesperson that the number of applications is what slows the process.
But that's not true, is it?
If USCIS is providing accurate number, it really isn't.
So tell us about the numbers that show that their statement isn't accurate.
Sure. USCIS discloses their numbers on their website. According to their numbers, in the fiscal year of 2018, they received the fewest number of applications in 4 years. From 2017 to 2018, applications dropped by 13%, which is almost 1 million applications. For example, in 2017, they had about 8.5 millions, and 2018, 7.5.
So that sounds like a huge number, 1 million fewer applications. It seems like it should have helped speed things up.
It seems like it should have, but it didn't. In fact, in the same time period, application processing has slowed by 19% overall.
And is that because they have fewer workers?
No, at least not as far as we are aware. In fact, some positions like immigration judges have added more staff.
So do you know what's creating the slowdown?
Actually, we know in part.
And what is that?
Well, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, who runs USCIS, has told Congress that their own processes have caused the slowdown.
So they actually admitted that.
This is what they said in their report, and this is a direct quotation. Increasing complexity and length of forms, new statutory and policy decisions, and increased security checks. This also correlates to the decrease in completions per hours.
And their report doesn't suggest that they are going to go faster, does it?
No, in fact, it says they anticipate slowing down even further.
Do you know what that means?
They give several reasons that they don't anticipate getting any faster in their processing. Their report states that they're going to slow down because they have a new executive order requiring more face-to-face interviews. They don't have enough staff to process the number of applications that come in every year, so they will always have a backlog. Though they increased their fees by 21%, they say they cannot hire enough people to speed up the processing based on 2017 recommendations. Part of that reason is that they proposed moving $200 million of their revenue to ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, rather than hiring more staff to process applications. They move staff, such as asylum officers, to other positions, which caused a slowdown on the cases they were processing. And they are all moving some applications to online filing. So now staff is learning how to process those, and this is causing additional delays.
And is this the highest backlog that they've had?
Yes. In fact, keep in mind, USCIS was formed in 2002. The next highest backlogs were in 2004 with 1.7 million and 2008 with 1.5 million backlogged applications.
And the other thing that everyone should keep in mind is that their policy allows them to not count any applications where they have sent out an RFE or a request for evidence, right?
That's right. So the true number of applications waiting for a decision from USCIS is definitely higher.
Do we know an average time it takes to process each application?
Well, USCIS says that it takes about 10.4 months for every application they are processing.
And does it tell us how many cases make up the backlog that they are working on?
According to their own report, there are 2.3 million cases in backlog.
Is that every application that comes in, or are there specific ones that take longer?
Well, they don't give us specific numbers in the backlog, but their report says that the biggest reason for the backlog are the following applications: the I-90, N-400, I-485, I-589, and I-130. So I would presume those applications would take the longest.
And there is something under the law that says they will respond within a certain time period, right?
Yes, the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, has specific time periods in which USCIS is supposed to respond. Depending on the application, they are supposed to respond within 30, 60, 90, or 120 days.
And is that for every application?
Yes, but each one has its own requirements, so I would consult with an attorney about your particular application to determine when they are supposed to respond.
And if they don't respond, and the majority of people are definitely not getting a response within 90 days, what can they do?
Well, you can file an action in federal court stating that they are outside the statutory requirements of answering and compel them to answer.
Does that work?
It often does.
Do you think that it might cause a negative bias towards their case?
I can't answer that. I can say that most immigration cases that go to the federal court have a higher success rate than in the immigration court.
Do you think someone should file that in federal court without an attorney?
It really depends on your situation. With any immigration cases in federal or immigration court, people represented by attorneys have a higher success rate, but having an attorney doesn't guarantee success.
And I know that 85 House Democrats sent a letter to the director of USCIS regarding the backlog in February of this year, 2019. Can you tell us what their concerns were?
Sure. AILA, which is the American Immigration Lawyers Association, had this posted on their website because they are also quite concerned with the delay many applicants are seeing. The House representatives said in their letter that they are concerned with the huge backlog and that USCIS has moved from their goals of streamlining and simplifying the application process for immigrants into an effort to create a barrier to immigration.
So have they gotten an answer to that letter and to their concerns?
Not as far as I am aware.
So that answer must be part of the backlog.
It may be.
Okay, so what can people do?
I have 5 tips for everyone. First, make sure that you use the correct application. Check on the USCIS website that the forms you are using haven't been updated. They update these pretty often. Make sure you include the appropriate fee. Make sure you answer all the questions fully and truthfully, and include any supporting evidence with your application, if your application allows that. Number 4, answer any RFEs, request for evidence, or NOIDs, that's the notice of intent to deny, as soon as they're received. And keep your address updated with USCIS.
And then if they follow all that, then they just have to wait.
Yes. However, I also recommend checking in periodically through USCIS. Though USCIS is notorious for not updating their online case information, you should check it. Also call their office. We have had clients who have had an RFE or NOID and they didn't receive it for whatever reason. Sometimes due to USCIS error, sometimes they didn't update their information, and this caused their application to be denied.
And if someone is wondering, how long will this take, what can they do?
Depending on the application, they can check the visa bulletin or check the processing times on the USCIS website based on their submitted application and the center it is being processed through. And if somehow there is a USCIS error, don't expect any apologies.
You still have to appeal that even if they screwed it up, right?
Yes.
They won't admit they did it wrong.
Yes.
So if receiving an answer goes past the statutory time period, what I heard you say is that they can file in federal court to obtain an answer.
That's right. It's called a mandamus action. So I'm sorry we don't have better news. Every day we have people who are outraged by how long their application is taking. We are outraged with you.
Not with you, but in
together
with you. We're all outraged.
Together with you, yes. And I'm hoping this video shows that this is a systemic problem that is at this time only expected to become worse. If you are a voting citizen, you can call your representatives and let them know how outrageous this is. Ask them that what is their solution to help USCIS fulfill their mission of quickly processing immigration applications. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate everyone who watches and your likes and comments. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're always here to help. See you tomorrow.